the night my son came home after 3 years. He didn't knock. He just walked in, tall, confident, wearing a suit that didn't fit the boy I'd raised. When our eyes met, there was no warmth. Only silence heavy enough to break my heart. I didn't know then that this was the night everything would start to change. Not because of his success, but because of what he was about to lose. Before continue, please subscribe our channel and like our video. I am Maria, a retired teacher. For most of my life, I believed that love could fix anything, especially family. I raised my 2 children, Daniel and one bean, Lily, after their father passed away when they were still young. We lived modestly. A small house, secondhand furniture, but a lot of laughter. Daniel was always bright, ambitious. Even as a little boy, he dreamed of making it big. He used to say, one day, Mom, I'll buy you a house with a garden and no leaky pipes. I'd smile, proud of his confidence. I thought his hunger for success came from a good place, from wanting to protect us. When he got a scholarship to a business school in the city, we were all so proud. He promised he'd visit every month, but slowly. The visits stopped. His calls became shorter, more distracted. Just busy, Mom, he'd say. You wouldn't understand. It's a different world here. A small crack began to form between us, but I kept telling myself it was normal. Children grow. They change. We have to let them. Still, I missed the boy who used to laugh at silly things and make tea for his sister. Lily, on the other hand, stayed close. She worked at a local clinic, cared for me, and kept the house warm. She never complained, though I saw the sadness in her eyes when Daniel forgot birthdays or skipped family gatherings. Looking back, I think that's where the fault line began, between love that stayed and love that drifted away. When my husband died, he left the house in my name, with a note that said, "For you and the children. Keep it safe." For years, I never thought twice about it. But when Daniel came home that night, he had papers in his hand. "Mom," he began, sitting at the same table where his father once did, "you should transfer the property to me. I'll handle it better. I can sell it and invest the money, triple its value in no time." I stared at him. "Sell this house? Your father built it with his hands." He smiled in that calm, rehearsed way. "Times change, Mom. You and Lily can live in an apartment. I'll take care of everything." Lily, standing in the doorway, whispered, "You mean take everything?" Daniel's eyes hardened. "I'm doing this for all of us," he said. But what I heard behind his words was greed, dressed as love. That night, after he left, Lily cried quietly. I sat beside her, unable to speak. The papers on the table felt heavier than grief. Days turned into weeks. Daniel kept calling, insisting. He said the market was good, that waiting would be foolish. Every call ended with tension, his voice louder, mine quieter. Then came the first humiliation. At a family dinner, he announced in front of relatives that I was stuck in old ways and I didn't understand real business. People laughed awkwardly. I smiled to hide my shame. After that, he stopped calling me Mom. He called me Maria, as if love itself had become too personal. Bills began to pile up. The roof leaked again. Lily and I managed with her small salary. I refused to ask Daniel for help, not out of pride alone, but out of fear. Fear that asking would give him more control. Then one morning, the phone rang. It was the bank. Someone had tried to access my savings account, the one Daniel helped me set up years ago. My heart dropped. I didn't accuse him right away, but deep down, I knew. That evening, I called him. "Did you use my bank details?" I asked quietly. He sighed. "I was just checking. You're being paranoid, Mom." And then he hung up. That was the moment I realized my son, my own blood, had crossed a line. A week later, a friend from the neighborhood stopped by. She worked part-time at a real estate office. She mentioned casually, "Maria, I saw your house listed in a proposal under Daniel's company name. Are you selling?" I froze. She showed me a printout, my address, my name. My house. It was listed as under negotiation. I remember sitting there, holding that paper, feeling both anger and sorrow. Not because he wanted money, but because he'd done it behind my back. He had betrayed everyone who ever trusted him. I didn't tell Lily right away. I spent that night in silence, asking myself, where did I go wrong? But somewhere between the tears, another voice whispered, "You didn't fail." He did. That's when something changed in me. I decided to protect what was left, quietly. The next morning, I gathered all the documents, property deeds, wills, receipts. I went to an old lawyer, a kind man who had helped us when my husband died. He looked through everything and nodded. "Don't worry," he said gently. "You still have full rights. Let's make sure it stays that way." Together, we updated the ownership papers and added a legal clause to prevent any sale without my written consent. He also advised me to change my bank passwords and move my savings into a safer account. When I returned home, I felt lighter, not because I had defeated my son, but because I had taken back control of my life. When I told Lily everything, she didn't speak for a long time. Then she said softly, "Maybe one day he'll realize what he's done." I wasn't sure, but I prayed for it. I didn't confront him directly. Instead, I waited. Sometimes silence is the loudest response. It came 3 months later. Daniel showed up again, this time with a man from his company. He looked confident. Until I placed the new legal documents on the table. He frowned. "What is this?" "My decision," I said calmly. "This house will stay with me and your sister. It's not for sale." His voice shook. "You think you can stop me?" I looked at him, not as a mother defending her son, but as a woman defending her home. "I already have," I said. The man beside him looked uncomfortable and left quietly. Daniel sat down, staring at the papers, his face pale. For the first time, I saw fear in his eyes, not fear of losing money, but fear of losing us, he whispered. "I didn't mean to hurt you," I said softly, "but you did." He left that day without another word. Months passed. Daniel didn't call, and I didn't chase after him. Lily and I fixed the roof together. The house felt peaceful again. Then one evening, I found an envelope at the door. Inside was a note from Daniel. "I'm sorry. I've lost the company. I'm starting over. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I hope you're okay." I read it twice, my heart heavy. He had finally faced his own fall. I didn't reply. Not yet. Sometimes forgiveness needs time to grow roots. I just whispered a prayer, not for revenge, but for his peace. Because sometimes, the act that changes a life isn't punishment. It's love that stays calm, even when it's been broken. If this real-life story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more gentle emotional stories about family, forgiveness, and second chances.